I park on level 4 like I always do, under the same flickering tube light that makes my car look sickly green. The hospital rises beside the deck in clean white slabs, windows lit in scattered squares. Visiting hours end in 20 minutes. I had a routine. I take the stairs. I count them without thinking. I keep my head down because the air in here tastes like damp concrete and old exhaust. My shoes make the familiar hollow tap. Tap, tap, tap. Then another set answers from ahead of me. Same cadence, same weight, same tiny scrape on the third step where the edge is chipped. I stop mid-stride. The footsteps ahead stop at the exact same time. For a second I wait for laughter, for a security guard to step out, for any explanation that fits inside the world I know. Nothing moves. The only sound is the soft whir of a distant fan and the faraway city hush seeping through the open sides of the deck. I take one careful step forward. One step answers from ahead, not behind me, not beside me, ahead, as if someone is walking away from me on the same path, matching me perfectly. My skin goes cold and my mouth fills with the taste of pennies. I turn my head sharply, scanning the ramp that curves up to level 5, the painted arrows, the parked cars lined like sleeping animals. No one, no shadow shifting, no phone screen glow. I tell myself it is an echo. Concrete does that. Sound bounces, but echoes do not lead you. I start again, faster, and the footsteps ahead speed up too, staying just out of sight. Always around the bend of the ramp, always a few paces beyond where my eyes can land. My ears feel wrong, like I have come up too fast in an elevator. Pressure builds, a gentle squeeze from the inside. I swallow. It does not pop. Tap, 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 tap. My stomach tightens with a simple childish certainty that I am being played with, that if I round the curve I will see someone waiting. I grip my keys hard enough to bite into my palm. I round the curve. The ramp ahead is empty, but the footsteps keep going. I hear them clearly now, not smeared by distance, not softened by the air. They are right there, 10 feet ahead, and still there is no one. The pressure in my ears increases. The sound of my own breathing turns muffled, as if someone has pressed a pillow over the world. I stop again. The footsteps stop. I whisper hello. My voice comes out thin, like it has to squeeze through an arrow tube. The word dies quickly, swallowed by the concrete. No answer. I force my legs to move. I make myself think of my sister upstairs, of the way her eyes looked this morning when the nurse called me. I came here to do something normal, to sit by her bed, to pretend I am not terrified of machines and antiseptic. The deck is just a deck. It is not a place for ghosts. It is not a place for stories. I reach the stairwell door and push it open. The smell changes instantly to disinfectant and stale air. The stairwell is painted a tired yellow. The fluorescent lights hum. The hum should be steady. It is not. It pulses faintly like a heartbeat. My footsteps in the stairwell are sharper. I descend one flight to the skybridge level, because that is how I always go in. As my foot hits the landing, the other footsteps hit a landing too. One floor below, but they sound like they are right beside me. I grit the metal railing. My fingers leave damp marks. I tell myself there is someone in the stairwell. I tell myself they are walking too. I tell myself my brain is matching patterns because I am tired. Then I lean over the railing and look down through the center gap. The flights below are empty all the way down to the ground level door. Still, I hear my own shoes landing on the next platform, except I am not moving. The pressure in my ears becomes a hard push, like hands pressing inward. It is not pain yet. It is insistence. A silence with weight. I back away from the railing and push through the door into the skybridge. The bridge is glass-walled, suspended between the deck and the main building. At night it feels like a fish tank. Outside, the city lights smear into reflections and my own face floats over the dark. My footsteps follow me into the bridge, and the impossible footsteps follow too, now clearly ahead, walking in the same direction. I can almost predict the rhythm. I can almost step into it. I slow down, testing. The other slows. I speed up. It speeds. I stop. It stops. It is not just copying. It is anticipating, like it knows the intention in my muscles a fraction of a second before I commit. The pressure in my ears thickens. The bridge seems to narrow. The glass reflects too much, showing my shoulders hunched, my eyes wide, my mouth slightly open. Halfway across, I notice something on the floor. A small black object, no bigger than my thumb, sitting near the edge of the walkway where the rubber base meets the glass. It looks out of place, like a beetle that should not be in a sterile place. I crouch and pick it up. It is a USB drive. No label. No keychain. Just matte black plastic with a sliding connector. The moment it touches my skin, the pressure in my ears eases a fraction, like something has shifted its grip. My heart stutters. The footsteps ahead resume. 2 steps, then stop, as if whoever is there has turned to watch me. I look up. The bridge ahead is empty, the doors at the far end closed. I stand and continue, the USB drive tight in my fist. At the hospital side, the door opens with a sigh. Warm air spills out, carrying the smell of coffee and bleach and human bodies. The noise of the hospital hits me too, distant monitors, a rolling cart, a muted conversation. The pressure in my ears should break under that noise. It does not. It stays, compressing everything, making the sounds feel far away like I am hearing them through water. I move down the corridor toward the elevators. My shoes click on the polished floor. The other footsteps click too, still ahead. I pass a wall of framed photos of smiling staff. Their eyes follow no one. My reflection slides across the glass. For an instant, I think I see another reflection moving ahead of mine, but when I stop and stare, there is only me and the empty corridor. At the elevator bank, I press the button. The light comes on. I wait. The footsteps ahead stop directly in front of the elevator doors, as if someone is already standing there. I am alone. A nurse rounds the corner pushing a linen cart. She glances at me, polite, distracted. I want to ask her if she hears it. I want to ask her if my face looks wrong, but the moment she comes within 10 feet, the pressure in my ears surges and the world goes very quiet. Her cart wheels still turn, but the sound falls away. Her mouth moves as if she says something, but it reaches me as a blur. I flinch, pressing my palms against my ears. She slows, frowning, then keeps going, eyes sliding away like she has decided I am just another stressed visitor. As she passes, the pressure releases slightly, and sound returns in a rush, too loud for a second. The elevator dings. The door is open. Inside is empty, but I hear the footsteps step in before I do. The sound is right there, inside the elevator, moving to the back wall. I stare into the empty space and cannot make my legs cross the threshold. A man in a suit approaches from the hallway, phone to his ear. He walks toward the elevator without looking at me. I step in quickly, so I do not have to explain why I am frozen. The man follows, still talking quietly. The doors close. The suit man presses floor 7. I need floor 6. I reach for the button. My finger hovers. The pressure in my ears swells as if the elevator is descending instead of rising, my skull squeezing inward. My stomach lifts. My vision narrows. The suit man keeps talking, but his voice is suddenly muffled, distant. I look at his mouth and see syllables I cannot hear. I press floor 6. The button lights. The elevator begins to rise. The pressure does not change with the motion. It changes with attention. I realize. When I focus on the footsteps, when I try to locate them, it worsens. When I think of my sister, it eases, as if something wants me to stop listening. The elevator stops at 6. The doors open onto a quiet hall with dimmed lights. Visiting hours. The carpet is patterned to hide stains. The air is cooler here. The suit man stays inside, still on his call. The doors begin to close. Just before they meet, I hear the other footsteps step out. Not behind me, not beside me, ahead. Into the hall. The doors close with a soft thud, leaving me alone in the corridor, staring at empty space where someone should be walking away. I move forward slowly. The footsteps ahead move too, keeping the same distance. The pressure in my ears continues, a steady push, like the building itself is pressing down on my hearing. Room 612 is at the end of the hall. My sister is in 614. As I pass 612, I see the door is slightly ajar, a thin line of darkness. I do not remember that door being open. The footsteps ahead stop at 612. I stop too, a few feet away. The pressure surges, and the hallway sound drains away until there is only my heartbeat, dull and heavy. I stare at the crack in the door. I can smell something faintly metallic, like blood on a bandage. My hand lifts toward the door handle before I decide to do it. The handle is cold. I push. The door swings inward. The room is unlit. The blinds are drawn. A single monitor glows near the bed, casting a pale rectangle on the sheets. The bed is empty. The chair beside it is turned slightly, as if someone stood up in a hurry. On the chair is a laptop, open, screen dark, a small power light blinking. A cable runs from the side of the laptop to the USB port. My stomach drops. The USB drive in my fist feels heavier, as if it has been waiting to be plugged in. The pressure in my ears becomes almost unbearable, a deep inward shove that makes my eyes water. I step into the room, drawn by a need I do not understand. The footsteps ahead step into the room too, though I see nothing. The air feels thicker inside, as if the silence has pooled here. I shut the door behind me without thinking. The latch clicks, loud as a gunshot in the muffled world. For a moment, I cannot hear anything at all. Not the monitor, not my breathing, not my own pulse. It is absolute, crushing quiet, and it presses on my ears from all sides. I stumble to the chair and set the USB drive on the laptop palm rest. My fingers shake. I tell myself I should leave. I tell myself this is insane. But my hand slides the USB connector out. The other footsteps shift behind me. Just one small movement, like someone adjusting their stance. I do not turn. I plug the drive into the laptop. The laptop screen wakes, brightening the room. A desktop appears plain, no wallpaper, no icons except one folder centered on the screen. The folder is named with my full name, first and last, spelled correctly. My throat tightens so hard it hurts. I move a cursor. The trackpad is slick under my sweaty finger. The pressure in my ears pulses with each tiny movement as if the silence is reacting to the cursor to my intention. I double-click. The folder opens. Inside are several files. Video files, judging by the thumbnails. Each thumbnail is a still image, grainy and green tinted, like night vision. The first thumbnail is unmistakably the hospital parking deck on level 4. The second thumbnail is the sky bridge. The third is the elevator interior. The fourth is this hallway. My lungs stop working for a second. I have been recorded. I click the first file. The video opens with a timestamp in the corner. Tonight, 10 minutes ago. The camera angle is high, looking down at the deck from a corner where no camera should be, because I know this deck and the cameras are mounted lower, near the payment machines. On the screen I see myself walking, shoulders tight, keys in hand. I watch myself stop and look around. Then, in front of me, a few paces ahead, the image warps slightly as if the camera struggles to focus on something. A shape shimmers in the air, not transparent like a movie ghost, but like heat distortion over asphalt. And inside that distortion is a suggestion of movement, legs perhaps, feet hitting concrete. My footsteps, the pressure in my ears spikes so hard I gasp aloud, and the sound of my gasp is swallowed instantly, crushed back into silence. On the video, my head snaps up at the exact moment, like I can hear what I am seeing. I pause the video. The room feels smaller. The silence presses harder, as if angry at being exposed. I exit the player and click the second file, Skybridge footage, me crouching to pick up the USB drive, except the USB drive is not on the floor in the video. In the video, it slides into view by itself, as if pushed by an invisible hand, stopping exactly where I will notice it. My mouth goes dry. I click the third file, elevator footage. The camera is inside the elevator in the corner, too high again. I see myself hesitate at the threshold. I see the suit man behind me, and I see something else. A second figure, already inside the elevator, standing at the back wall. It looks like me, not a perfect copy, not a mirror. Wrong in subtle ways. The posture is too rigid. The head angle is slightly off. The outline flickers at the edges like the camera cannot decide where it begins. The suit man does not react to it. He walks in as if the space is empty. In the video, the double turns its head slowly toward the camera. Toward me, the pressure in my ears becomes pain. Hot, sharp pain. Tears spill down my cheeks. I slam the laptop lid halfway closed and the room plunges into dimness again. Only the monitor glow by the bed remaining. The silence presses so hard I feel it in my teeth. Behind me, I hear a single footstep. Not ahead this time. Right behind my chair. The hair on my arms rises. My body goes rigid. I cannot turn. I cannot breathe. A second footstep, closer, as if it has leaned down. Then, very softly, a sound that is not a voice but tries to be one, like air pushed through a throat that does not know how. It says my name the way a machine might say it after hearing it once. I squeeze my eyes shut. When I open them, the laptop lid is lifting by itself, slow and deliberate, revealing the bright screen again. The folder with my name is still open. A new file appears at the bottom of the list. The thumbnail is a live image. It is the room I am in, from the far corner near the ceiling, looking down. I see myself sitting in the chair, and I see what is standing behind me, close enough that its shadow covers my shoulders. The pressure in my ears suddenly releases, not easing but vanishing, like a hand removed. Sound rushes back so fast it makes me dizzy. In that instant of relief, I hear a real noise in the hallway outside the door, a soft knock, then my sister's voice, weak and confused, calling my name from the other side. I stare at the door, at the handle. On the laptop screen, the thing behind me lifts its hand toward my head, fingers stretching too long, and the live thumbnail window shows the door handle beginning to turn from the outside. The knock comes again, closer, as if whoever is there has leaned in. I cannot tell if my sister is really out there, or if the silence has learned how to sound like her. My chair creaks as something behind me shifts its weight. The door handle turns fully, and the footsteps I have been hearing all night begin to walk away from me. Not ahead, not behind, but inside my skull, moving toward the door as it starts to open.